Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the male soap opera moment where we are here to recap not only night one, but night two of SummerSlam with the one, the only, Vinny the Gator Bucci. And the... What's up with the eye? What happened, Bucci? You all right? Do you have something in your eye?
What's the Gator? When have I been called that?
Okay. Excuse me. It's Gator Ricky Bucci. Got you.
My mistake. Let me start over.
Well,
Ladies and gentlemen, first, Vinny the Gator Bucci, formerly known as the Wrestling Encyclopedia. And the new, reigning, freshly defending, yet undisputed, When's World Prediction Champion, on his road to Damascus, blinded by the light. Damascus Lycan, a.k.a. Desmond Dagenhart. Do you have the booch in tow? Or do you have the booch in tow? Do you have the belt in tow?
I do not. I have it safely tucked away at the house because I'm not going to lose it like you did.
I just want you to know, the van following you for the last 4 or 5 miles, I have nothing to do with that. Call it off. Doesn't have the title. Call it off. Title is not in tow. Call it off. Sorry about that. Booch hears voices in his head. They talk to him. They counsel him. Unfortunately
they don't win him a title.
They lied big time to him over SummerSlam weekend. So let's get into it, gentlemen. Night one. You know, we predicted it in a certain order, but for the sake of continuity, we're going to go with the order in which the matches actually occurred, so you can kind of go through with us here. First match we saw was that tag team match. Roman Reigns and Cousin Jey Uso defeating Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed with the Oracle at ringside. Vinny the Gator Bucci, you probably won't be late on your reply to this, but you were late to the show, so you've coined yourself a new nickname until you prove otherwise. What's your take on this tag team match on night one?
well, if we look at it from just a match standpoint, obviously it did its job in opening the show. So it set the tone. I can take that. But from a booking, creative, finish standpoint, I have to ask the question that I asked on the road to WrestleMania. What the f is wrong with Triple H? Like, I don't know. Everybody else seems to see the Messiah of booking. With what I saw at SummerSlam, I'm looking at Russo 2.0. Like,
Oh, it's not
there
that
yet.
bad.
It's getting close.
It is nowhere near.
Whoa.
It is
You
nowhere
got to be
near.
kidding me.
So Booch, explain why you think that exactly.
Because here's why. Seth Rollins builds a faction. Just, okay, 3 guys, we're throwing them together, and Paul Heyman's bragging about all 3 of them.
The Vision.
Yeah,
The Vision.
Vision. Oh, we have a name for him now.
Yes.
Okay, they made that name official now? Okay.
It's official. Officially official.
I've been waiting for that. So, we got 3 guys, we put them together. Paul Heyman talks about how great each one is. Somehow, these guys Bronson Reed is at least able to explain why he's here. So, we got these guys together. We're putting them in a faction. They're supposed to be this dominant, badass. This is the future of the faction. You got Seth Rollins is supposed to be the present. These guys are supposed to be the future. We're putting these guys together. Now, I can go deeper into this, but I don't want to jump ahead, so I'll just stop at this one point right here, but I will elaborate more on this at the end of night one. But how am I supposed to take these 2 seriously when they're getting their asses kicked on a big pay-per-view? Like I said, I can go deeper into this, but I don't want to jump over. So right now, how am I supposed to take this faction seriously when A, they're taking L's, and B, Seth showed at the end of the night, he don't need them. Like, it doesn't make sense to me how I can take this, how you can take this loss and then come out on Monday Night Raw and go, the big dog, the tribal thief, the Shula Fala. I just watched you take an L to the guys you're claiming you're better than. I can't, how am I supposed to take this seriously? It's like Triple H's like, oh, they could just lose and Paul can just talk and I could pretend they didn't just get their asses kicked. Like, that don't work. At some point, if you want to be dominant, you must dominate.
See, now here's the thing. I don't agree with that because that was the same issue I had with the Wyatt family. The original Wyatt family. Over and over again, Bray Wyatt would they'd push him as this monster, and they'd make him scary. They'd get him real good and scary, but he lost every big match. To the point where when he finally did win the world title, and I chose him to win the world title, everybody was looking at me like I was crazy because he never won anything. So I agree with that but I also have to point out the fact that this whole match was a bad idea from the start, because it was never going to end well. Even if they won, then what? Then you kill Jey Uso's momentum, and you waste one of the few matches that you're going to have with Roman Reigns because he's on a part-time schedule. This was a no-win situation. The reason that I chose Jey and Roman to win is because we knew that if Seth was going to cash in, if Seth was cleared, then he could not make an appearance until the cash in, which we knew was going to be the main event. So we knew he couldn't help them. And because he couldn't help them, that's why I chose Roman and Jey. And that's what got me that point.
Yes. That it did.
Yeah. And then, of course, later on, we see Roman dominating, coming out and handling business against Bronson. I love the sneaker gag. Like, I think that's cool.
Oh, it's hilarious.
That's old school bullying, and that's exactly what Bronson Reed is. And the fact that they understand that's great culture. That's a great cultural awareness there.
Yeah,
and then
a lot of people don't know that they take your shoes and they would literally throw them and put them on the power wire. That's why they're ever driving through like an urban nail.
A lot of times they wouldn't throw the nice shoes over the power line. They keep the.
Oh yeah, they keep the nice ones. Yeah, they keep the nice ones.
Yeah, so that was cool, especially for you, Desmond, because you got a point in that match. Of course, Booch and I both selected the losers. So you're probably feeling really good after about 21 minutes into that match. Then we saw the second match as this very unlikely tag team between Charlotte Flair and Little Miss Bliss. And of course, I love the new action figure. Some people would call it a creepy doll. I call it more action figure just because of how awesome this new tag team is. Charlie, right? What a cool addition to your playset at home. It may creep some people out a little. You know, you don't want to bring it up at family functions or holidays, but hey, to each their own on this. In all seriousness, this match was awesome. I loved this match. It did not disappoint. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss defeating the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez, and Roxanne Perez via pinfall. Pretty long match, 13 and a half minutes. Damascus Dez, our reigning defending undisputed champion. What's your take on this one, my friend?
I think this one was a given. I really do. The hype between Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, they've been doing the chemistry between them has been amazing. The fans have been so much behind them. It seemed inevitable. You put these two, they've been around. They've both been here for more than 10 years now. The veterans, as is the best way to put it. You put these two veterans in the ring together. They have great chemistry together, even though they're not friends. And
Not
they
friends.
put not friends.
Not friends. We're not friends, just to be clear.
And, yeah. So you put them together, they do so well. The Judgment Day can't hold the titles forever. We knew that wasn't going to happen. The Judgment Day has been on a slow and steady decline for a long time. It's like they'll get the titles, but everybody's like, yeah, nobody's taking it seriously at this point. But we've got a whole lot going on here, and I just felt like it was time. We needed to have a true dominant team. And let's be real, and Bucci loves this. Our buddy Steven loves this, and I love this. It keeps Charlotte away from the world title.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nothing but good things from this.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's a really good point because a lot of us are afraid that, oh boy, she's back. Here we go. No matter what, Charlotte's going to hold the gold. But we're seeing that Triple H understands that voice. He's listening. Maybe not to this show. But thank you to the 93 people that do. Listen, percentage-wise, my subs are through the roof, baby, the last couple months. So thank you all very, very much. But yeah, this match was interesting because, Booch, you selected the Judgment Day to win this one. What was your thinking again behind that? And now that the match is over, what are you thinking moving forward?
Well, I didn't see it. I didn't know Charlotte and Alexa were going to. I agree that they have great chemistry. I'm not denying that. I just didn't know storyline wise they were going to stay together as a team. Plus, the Judgment Day have been, like even though, like they said, they can't hold the belts forever. I've learned in the Paul Levesque era, it feels like forever when a lot of people hold titles. He is a very big fan of, I'm going to put a belt on you and have you run through everybody, then reshuffle the deck again, have you run through them again, then reshuffle the deck and run through them again. That's why belt title reigns get stale. And I said it before, I'll say it again. You cannot have separate brands and separate belts and everyone have a long-term title reign. Either unify the belts or start playing hot potato a little bit with these titles, because if it goes too long, people get bored because you don't have the big enough roster. Now, if you had everybody together and everybody on one belt, you could have a guy be champ for a year. Like Roman Reigns will never happen again. And the only reason that happened is because of the pandemic. Let's make that very clear. He was a champ for 4 years because of the damn pandemic. And if it wasn't for that, he would have.
Well, that and the fact that he only defended the title once every 3 months.
That helped too. But I'm saying, like, the pandemic was also why. Because there were so many people sitting at home because very few people would actually. Yeah. Not a lot of the big stars were getting in the ring. That's why a lot of people got called up very quickly because they had to fill TV time during the pandemic. So I'm saying you got to be able to do that. So, but Triple H loves long title reigns. Now, Charlotte and Alexa, I'll say this. There was a moment where I thought, I think Alexa accidentally hit Charlotte, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting the point. I was like, I'm getting the point. I didn't want the Judgment Day to win, but I knew it was going to get the point. And then Charlotte, apparently, I got to give Charlotte credit on this. Apparently, she's the only one that seems to have common sense in tag team matches. Because there's a moment, we all caught it, where Charlotte gets up, Alexa look on her face like, oh, I'm fucking dead. But she mouths the words, I know you didn't mean to, kicks the other person in the head.
And it was the middle. Here's the thing: it was right in the middle of the Sister Abigail DDT. She had her set up for it, and she looks at Charlotte staring right at her. I know you didn't do it. Bam! It's such beautiful psychology right there. That part of the match was beautiful.
And the time is perfect because again, she's mouthing the words, but you can't tell right away. You think you heard it or whatever. And then she's running at Alexa and you think she's going to kick her, but she kicks the other person. Because usually when someone's going to do that, you can kind of sense it a mile away. Sometimes they give it away too early. Like they'll pause too long or they'll turn too early, or you got the Jon Stewart situation, but where he just kept looking at it, like, you know what he's going to do. There's a timing way to it. And I'll give Charlotte credit. She timed that perfectly because you think she's going to rip her head off. She hits Raquel. Boom, Sister Abigail. 1, 2, 3. Great finish. So I got to say, that was a fantastic finish.
Didn't get the point, but definitely got the nod of approval from Vinny the Gator Bucci. Yeah, this match did everything it was supposed to do, except give him the point. Damascus Dez and yours truly, the Wins, both profited off this match. And then there was Sami Zayn defeating Karrion Kross. Yours truly, the only person that got this one right. Big time swerve, guys. I totally saw the logic and reasoning. Like, he can't take another L. He cannot take another L. He took another L. Like, is this a grab your shovel and your black suit and get ready for the hearse, drive to the funeral? What is going on, Damascus Dez?
I want to say something about this. Something I read yesterday. Supposedly, Karrion Kross just got offered another extension from WWE. Why the fuck are they offering him deals if they're going to keep crushing him? I mean, I understand why he's taking it. Yeah. He's taking it for the money. Yes. But they can't think that they're going to keep profiting off him well if they don't get him some wins.
He might be the new clown show. Like, what a waste. Like, what a waste of talent. But this is the double-edged sword.
He's getting the Ziggler treatment. He's getting the Ziggler treatment.
He is getting dolphed big time. And this is a common thing because it's so easy to reference all the times the talent's been screwed over. And it's a good problem as a fan sometimes, right? Because
Sami Zayn's had that issue a few times. And Sami Zayn, but now Sami's got a bit of a push going, and I like it. And I want to see that from Karrion Kross as well, though. And it's like, I get it, you can't have him win all the time, but he is as over as he has ever been. Give him something.
Yeah, they gave him nothing. So we don't have to belabor that point. It'll be interesting to see what they do. Obviously, good for Sammy as they head towards Paris in a few weeks. So this is a time to build Sami Zayn. You have to ride this wave. If you're going to have him win against Karrion Kross, like, boom, keep it going, baby. To the moon, Alice. Tiffany Stratton defeating Jade Cargill. Wow, Damascus Dez, the lone Strattonite here. It was your time. It was your time. Your time was then, and you got the point as me and Booch chose Paulie, chose Jade Cargill. Take your victory lap, sir. Well deserved.
Look, I'm not gonna sit here and say this one didn't worry me. This one did. There was a very good chance I was gonna lose this point, but my logic still stands. I like Jade. She is 100% so much fucking better than she ever was before. But I still don't think she's quite ready to run with that title. I think there's a lot more that can be done with her. And Tiffany Stratton, I feel like coming off those big wins that she had, it wasn't losing her title to the up and comer. I don't feel like it was right.
Yep.
And
well,
I got the point.
Yeah, you weren't wrong. Whether that's their reasoning or not, you weren't wrong about the outcome. Booch, we were definitely wrong. We took the L on that one.
Yeah, I thought it was time to build a new star in the women's division. Triple H didn't think so.
Yeah, I think
I don't think she needs a title to build her as a star. She's being built as a star right now without that title, and she's doing a phenomenal job.
But listen, when it does happen, it'll be sweet. It'll be kind of like Rhea beating Io Sky for once. We'll get to that eventually here. But the next match that we got to get to is Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul defeating Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. And I have a lot of questions more than I have to say. I want to know if this outcome was by design or if Jelly actually got hurt, because that would have hurt me. Like, that move looked like it actually hurt. And it was a good sell, whether it did or not. I bought it. But was this the desired outcome? Were they supposed to lose this match? Because I don't really think so. Booch, what say you on this one?
I don't know. I've been hearing stories that it was supposed to go one way, then they changed the finish or whatever. But because this is what I heard on the internet, and I hope to God it's not true, because I know that there was, I think Randy Orton and Jelly Roll was supposed to win, but then I heard Jelly Roll wanted to change the finish, which is weird. Other than Lodi, I don't know anybody else that ever was going over in a match and wanted to change the finish. And that's a whole nother story for another day. I won't get into that here. But yeah, so there was that. But regardless, I think Jelly Roll's logic was that he was going to be, I think Jelly Roll plans on sticking around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's canceled. Supposedly he's canceled tours.
Yep.
Yes. So he's staying around for a while, wants to invest in this, and talked about, about how it would, I guess storyline wise in his head, he thinks, oh, if I lose here and I go to chase the win, there'll be a story there, which to an extent that can work. Especially but usually here's the problem though. That logic only works if a title is involved. If a title's involved, that's why they used to say the money's in the chase with a babyface. That's why a lot of times he's the heel with the title. Because the fans will follow the babyface around as he goes to get the championship. And then once he finally wins it, then he's got people to work with. But when you're just coming in for the first time, you need that win for people to take you seriously from a wrestling logical standpoint. Now, fans.
I'll say this though.
Okay.
I'll say this though. First off, you don't need to chase a title. You have to chase something. He at that point, he was chasing respect. And I feel like in that match, he might have took the L, but he won the respect.
Indeed.
And he proved his positioning. And but now we got, he can come back and say, you know what? I took that L. I'm gonna own it, and now I'm gonna keep coming back better. That was what I got. That's what you got after 6 months of training. What are you gonna do when I keep training?
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of what you're saying is true. You definitely want it, but he proved that he could go. He proved that he put in the effort. He proved he proved he could swerve a fucking RSL. Because holy shit.
And
holy shit.
and he didn't do anything stupid.
No, he played it like a big powerhouse.
Yes.
He's just a big powerhouse throwing people around and throwing some punches. That is exactly what he needed to do. And I did not expect him to take the L,
I didn't.
but I respect him for being willing to take the L.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, it builds up Logan Paul as the most unlikable individual in WWE for a lot of people. I like the guy because he's a believable heel. Even as Jelly Roll's walking out, he's mocking him. That is such good heel work. That's awareness of what's going on and not turning your back. And Jelly Roll, whether it's real or not, or partially real, and he's like, I might actually be hurt. I don't want to risk this because I do care, and I wanted this, to your point, Des, I want this thing to continue and be on the up and up, especially after just a few months of training. Like, a serious injury could derail you forever, man. So, smart move, and he did win the respect. It's, to your point, Desmond, that was a really good point, man. I mean, we seldom agree on this show, but that is a really solid point. It's not always about the belt. Sometimes it's about respect. Maybe it's locker room respect. Maybe it's a combination of that and the respect of the WWE universe, and he's winning it. So whether you like him or not as a musician, his in-ring work and his ability to work the crowd and to lose weight and show that, like, that's everything. This next match was the longest match of the night, followed by the shortest match of the night. Wait, Joey, wins. What the heck are you talking about? Well, we're going to get into it because CM Punk defeated Gunther, the champ, walking into SummerSlam for the World Heavyweight Championship. Then there was other things that happened, but first, before we get to all that, what a freaking match. This match did not disappoint. It gave me everything I wanted. It gave me every freaking thing that I wanted. Damascus Des as champion, as much as I loathe saying that. By the way, is the belt still, you still don't have the belt?
It's still locked away, nice and safe.
Okay. What say you about this match?
I say that there are a lot of naysayers online about this one. And the main reason there are naysayers on it is because CM Punk is slower than he used to be. Gunther's matches are always slow because that's what Gunther does. A lot of people are complaining about the pacing and they wanted a faster paced match. But I think this match was fucking flawless. It was beautiful. It was brutal. It was emotional. It was everything it was supposed to be. CM Punk had to earn that victory. And once again, it doesn't make Gunther look weak. He ate 2 back-to-back go-to-sleeps. He ate 2 back-to-back go-to-sleeps before eating that pin. It was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, well, as you know, I'm not a fan of multiple finishers doing the job. I'm old school on that. I know I'm going to get a lot of disagreement. That's okay. That's all right. We can agree to disagree. But yeah, I mean, I think it was near flaw. Like, I would love for somebody to point out a flaw in the match other than maybe, depending on your opinions, what happened after he won. Bruce, before we get to the aftermath and I think which is beautiful, what are your thoughts about this match in particular?
If I did have to have a complaint about the match, I would feel like the ending kind of dragged out a little too long. There were a couple times where you could have just ended it right here. I think the false finishes, which I liked because they were actual false finishes for once. I like that, and where you actually believed it was the finish multiple times. But after a certain point, it's like, okay, look, you made your point. We get it. They're both strong. Can we end this already? Like, I felt like the ending kind of dragged a little bit. But as far as the pacing of the match, I thought it was perfect. And all those people complaining about, we want a faster paced match. No. This pacing was exactly what it needed to be. And faster pacing is number one thing I hate about modern wrestling. And also, they're the reason so many people get injured. Because they're moving too fast. They're not thinking straight. And you get hurt.
It's okay to have a faster paced match if you're having a shorter match.
Exactly. If the match is shorter, yes. If they say, hey, you got 5 minutes, get your shit in. But if you got like 30 minutes, you don't go fast paced with 30 minutes. You'll gas out. It's called pacing grease.
Don't believe us? Watch Jey Uso.
Yes, even he blows up. He'll gas out in a 30-minute match.
After he won the Royal Rumble, they put him in matches, and he gassed himself out, and he openly admitted to it. And then they made it part of the story, which was awesome.
Yeah,
Dude, I mean, just real talk as people who don't wrestle. I mean, any of us that were in middle school or elementary, or if we got in fights in high school or after, a minute fight is an eternity. A 1 minute fist, like it is. I mean, because your heart's going, and your breathing's all jacked up, and your muscles are tense, and it's like
I've never been in a fight that lasted more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's exhausting. So imagine doing that for 30 freaking minutes, and not
while
only
doing acrobatics and keeping the fans entertained. Come on.
It's not like as simple as throwing fists and stuff. This is like full on sports dang entertainment, and so you gotta love it. They delivered.
In fact, in old school wrestling, part of the reason they made closed fist punches illegal is because they said, and this is a direct quote, it's the fakest thing they do. They said, because if you hit somebody in the face, it becomes a fight. You can't, like you just said, most fights don't last longer than 2 minutes. You can't escalate a fight. Can you escalate a fight for 15, 30 minutes? Probably not. That's why they said, like, they do different moves, they do different things around it, but they would ban the closed fist. Now, obviously, they've lightened up on that. I'm talking way in the 70s, 80s, maybe early 90s. I don't know. But like way back
in the 90s, the refs would still say, watch the fist.
Exactly. Yeah. So they did that, but I'm saying that's part of the reason why they tell you not to do the closed fist. Keep it a little open up like that. Like you got to open hand it. That was part of the rule. So there's extent to that. But I'm saying, aside from the finish dragging out, it was a great match. It has you on the edge of your seat. CM Punk won. Because at this point, it was like, look, if you don't do it now, then when?
Yeah.
It was time to pull the trigger.
Yep.
He's out with CM Punk.
He's too old to keep dragging it out.
Yep.
Exactly. He is. And it showed in this match. Like, Punk got tired. Well, here's the thing. Punk's old. What was Jay's excuse? That's what I'm saying. Like,
Jay's excuse was he outpaced himself, and he realized that. He's learning. He is learning.
He's learning, yes. But you get my point. I'm saying, like, the old man got tired in 30 minutes, but with a slower pace. That makes sense because he's old. But still got the job done. It was still a badass match. Gunther, nothing bad's going to happen to him, although it's going to be awkward, as Desmond said. Most of his career, Gunther's had a title on him. So it's weird to see him without.
Gunther is also, they've also officially written him off the TV. He supposedly suffered an injury and is going to be out for an undisclosed amount of time, which is what I told you before, that Gunther's probably going to be taking a break after this.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, great main event.
Absolutely. And then that exhaustion of CM Punk after a 30-minute match, it's so believable that you're sitting there living your life, your best dreams are coming true, and then all you hear is, burn it down. And then just the look of, what now? What, are you serious? And he was ready. Like, he got up, he tried to swing but he couldn't do anything. Like, he was too tired to hit him with a chair, and it was just not enough. And Seth Rollins coming out, the crutch, like, everything about it had me on my phone, like, what? I told you, like, we got duped. Like, he wasn't hurt. Maybe he was. I don't know. You said you were there. He's not hurt. How the hell, man? Like, you could
it could have just been a simple sprain. Yeah, I think what it was is he heard it and he was worried because he knew he was supposed to cash in. Because I'm sure they had it planned. If it was like, you're going to cash in on Punk up at this point, and he's cussing and pissed because he's like, if I really hurt myself, I'm fucked. And then he's like, so they ended the match quickly, and it turned out, maybe it was just a sprain. Maybe it wasn't near as bad as they thought it was. He didn't actually tear the ACL. Nothing big deal.
Right.
But they played it up, and it was beautiful.
And it opens up an opportunity for LA Knight. And this is what you guys have been waiting for, Booch. I know this is the moment that you've been waiting for, an opportunity for LA Knight to really get involved in this title chase, to be the first person to sound the alarm and to provide a callback, a potentially true callback. Like, hey, I pinned you before, dude, before Saturday night's main event. And ever since then, you've been ducking me. You've been creating these stories, and it's believable. And I love how, and we're getting a little ahead of myself, but for those of you who don't know, this is what's going on, right? I love how he's not bending a knee to Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. You know? He's just like calling them idiots. Hey, idiots. Hey, he's giving respect to the visionary and the oracle. And he's like, hey, hey, idiots, like that, whatever. But that's great. And that's great. But back to this one, Seth Rollins ditching the crutches, coming forward and cashing in. And I thought it was beautiful. I'm not a CM Punk guy. Like, I've just never been a CM Punk. I think the best thing about him is his wife. And that's not to be offensive. I'm not trying to demean her. I think she's awesome. That's what I really mean by that. Like, I think AJ is great. But I don't like him as a champ. I don't. I think Seth Rollins right now, with the vision surrounding him, you got Paul Heyman. I mean, it's a winning formula. That's what it is. It's all about chemistry, baby. And they got it right now.
I'll say this. CM Punk as a champ is amazing when he's a heel. CM Punk is one of the best heels of all time.
Yeah.
He's like Randy Orton. He's very good. And he's got it's like what Kevin Owens would say. He's got a very punchable face, And it absolutely amazes me how, I mean, I get it. He's over. The fans love him. So you're making a face right now, but he was so good at making you hate him. And I feel like we're missing. I get that he's back on this final run and the fans, and it's all about making the fans happy. But God, the best work of his career was as a heel, and it will always be.
Yeah, he's just not a believable face. And I know it's kind of like by happenstance because he kind of has to do this right now because it doesn't make sense otherwise, in my view. But listen, he's good chasing the title too. So that's okay. He'll be all right. And it makes it the CM Punk, the guy with I became straight edge because of you, CM Punk. He went and got a drink on the way home, and I feel bad for that guy. But it's good for all of us that CM Punk did not walk out of there with the championship. Just gonna say it's what I think, and Seth Rollins is great. He's such a spectacle right now. I mean, and with, like I said, with the vision behind him, with the Oracle and those two freaking gargantuan giants protecting him, but for some reason they can't beat up Roman Reigns. We'll talk about that maybe.
Well, not just that. Here's the thing I was trying to say about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about the vision behind him. Seth Rollins came out here. He had the crutches on. Again, a lot of us thought he was injured. Made perfect sense. I'm expecting at this point, this is what I was expecting. Seth's coming out on the crutches, right? He's staring over there. I'm expecting the two behemoths, these two guys who are supposed to be in his faction. The whole point of having the faction is to help me stay on top. I'm expecting them to jump this guy. I was expecting Punk to get jumped, the shit beat out of him. Seth comes hobbling to the ring, cashes in. Or even if he drops the crutches and then comes in. Instead, Seth turns like he's going to leave, like, nah, I changed my mind. Throws the crutches down, turns around. I'm like, okay. Takes the brace off, which was, that to me was the bigger shocker. Because you can walk a little bit with a brace. I used to see Buff do it. So it's doable to walk with a brace. So he takes the brace off, runs down to the ring. Stomp. 1, 2, 3. Fine with the stomp. Fine with the championship. Okay, it was a swerve. Y'all got us. The fact
you did miss. He hit him. He also hit him with the fucking briefcase.
Yeah. That's it.
I mean, he did a whole lot of shit. And in all fairness, the faction's there to guarantee that he keeps that title. That's it. He didn't need the faction after a Gunther fight.
After a 30-minute fight, like I said, that 30-minute fight set the stage for Seth.
Right.
Anybody. For Doink the Clown to come in and beat CM Punk, it doesn't matter at that point. You're gassed. It's like, I can't do it. So it makes
The Brooklyn Brawler could have beat CM Punk right there.
Yeah, I mean, Honestly, he was
But again,
way more relevant than Sergeant Slaughter. I'm just gonna say that. Way more relevant than Sergeant Slaughter. But go ahead, Booch.
I would say I got two guys sitting next to me that I didn't need to win the title and got their asses kicked by the Tribal Chief and the Timu Soldier Boy. So how am I supposed to take this group seriously when the henchmen are taking L's and Seth pretty much did it by himself? That's what I'm saying. Make me believe in the group.
You do need to consider who they took the L's to. I mean, it's not like they took the L's to a regular tag team. No, they took the L's to Roman motherfucking Reigns and Jey Uso, who was just the world champion.
I'm with you, Booch, on this. I'm so with you. Like, yeah, it doesn't make sense. And the logic, this is why I think they're doing it. So, long-term picture. They're setting up Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, eventually in some capacity here, with LA Knight in some triple threat scenario. I feel it coming. They're already setting up Roman Reigns to go against Seth Rollins because Roman Reigns took out his henchmen. So he's, whether they're ringside or not, they're showing that he can somehow Superman punch his way out of trouble. Which, I don't know if it's going to work in the long run. It worked for that one spot. I don't know. Maybe they can do it twice. We'll see. But
I think it's more a matter of, because I've listened to Paul Heyman interviews here recently. Paul's been talking about the reason they're working with the guys. Like, why is Bronson Reed in this? Because he's been working alongside Bronson Reed behind the scenes for a while now. So it just made it easier to put him on screen with him.
Mm-hmm.
So realistically, what he sees Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker as future main eventers. It's like they're going to be main eventing WrestleManias at some point. And that's why they are in this. That's why they are the vision for the future. That's the whole purpose here. So what they're eventually going to have to do is they're going to have them come in and start running Rampage over the tag division. And we need to have them as the tag champs and him as and Seth as the world champion, and have them run roughshod over them for a while.
Yes.
That's what needs to happen. And yes, we're going to need to see the vision protecting Rollins. We're going to need to see the vision stopping people from winning, from getting wins over him. Distractions, attacks, whatever it takes.
Love it. I love all of it. That's what we need. Yep.
And then eventually, we're going to see Braun Breaker break away.
Yep.
He's already shown that he's not happy with the situation. We're going to see him break away from the vision, and then it'll be Braun first, and Bronson will break away later.
And then eventually we'll see Braun versus Bronson in WrestleMania in 5 years or something like that. Like, that's going to happen, you know?
I don't think so. I don't think that's going to be a big rivalry.
Why not? They have chemistry. You could turn them against each other and build that. You could blue chip that storyline.
I mean, Braun could easily be a face against Bronson's monster heel, but I don't see that being a WrestleMania main event. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't either. And it would have to be that way because Braun has shown he can work babyface in NXT. And Bronson, I don't know how Bronson would do as a babyface. I don't know if that would work. I feel like,
well, it wouldn't have to be a main event match. It wouldn't have to be like.
It would be to me that would end up being a lot like making Snitsky face. It just doesn't make sense.
No, it just yeah.
That's a throwback right there.
WWE, and the Wen say and do a lot of things that don't make any dang sense. So it wouldn't be the first time. This would not be the first time. So we got a lot to get to. That was night one. We've only just begun, but we're going to have a separate recording with night two. Plus, we got to talk about this Brock Lesnar situation. It's so big. Like, I have a lot to say. Bucci, I can tell you got a lot to say about this. Look at the steam, baby. All right, but we'll never, ever leave you without a few key catchphrases, one of which is, have a nice day.
Amen.
Dual champion, baby.